What is up, guys? It's your boy Matt Malloy back with another video. So I'm really excited about this one. Got a brand new piece of equipment I want to show you guys. I really think it's going to take my training to the next level. This, my friends, is a fitness tracking watch by Garmin. It's going to tell me calories burned. It's going to track my sleep for me. It's got stress levels on there. For some reason that's been beeping off red. I'm not really sure what that's about. It's even got this really cool feature called body battery. It's literally going to tell me how much energy I have left. Honestly, with this watch now attached to my wrist at all times, I have the power in my hands to become the most dominant fitness YouTuber that has ever lived. And I don't want to jump the gun on this too soon, but I might even announce my run for World's Strongest Man title this year. This watch is honestly just that cool, and I'm really excited to share with you guys some of the features of this watch and how it's going to be helping my training. So without further ado, let's get to the video. Honestly, optimistically speaking, this watch can do maybe 30% of the things it says it can do. It's an overpriced piece of shit, and I'm over it and its glowing circle of lies. Piece of garbage. Yeah, you can edit the watch in the After Effects, right? I dropped the second mortgage on my house just to pay for this. I can't actually throw it. So I was genuinely very conflicted on whether or not I was going to make this video. That's not going to work. So I was genuinely conflicted on whether or not I was going to make this video. On one hand, I do believe that fitness watches provide good motivation to people to get in the gym, to be physically active in the first place, and I'm all about supporting positive effect like that. On the other hand, the amount of blatant lying that goes into these devices in terms of what the companies will say they're able to track and what they're able to track accurately genuinely pisses me off. And it's to the point where I'm actually surprised that these companies are legally allowed to say that these devices can track certain things. So if you do enjoy your fitness watch, it keeps you happy and it gets you to be physically active every day, I genuinely do not want to ruin that experience for you. Maybe click off this video and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. However, if you're interested in the fitness tech side of things and why I think these watches are basically just expensive paperweights, here we go. So to answer your first question, Matt, if you don't even like these things, why even have one? What I'm wearing on my wrist is a GPS watch that stores music. And what it's gonna do for me, it's gonna function as a GPS and track my miles when I run. It's gonna be a watch and take the time, and it's gonna store music. Honestly, this is all stuff that my phone could do, but if you've ever tried to run 10 miles while death gripping a phone, you know why I bought the watch. So yeah, basically speaking, I had the first world problem of dropping a stack, so I didn't have to carry my tiny computer with me while I run. The irony there being, now I don't need to bring my phone with me, I need to bring the strap and 2 spare clips to protect the stupid trinket on my wrist. The other thing these watches are genuinely good at is tracking your heart rate. Yippee. So yes, heart rate is used in a few different styles of training, but all of them could equally be replaced by a basic RP system. I'm not knocking those of you that currently use heart rate training in your routine. I'm just saying it's something you don't need to be tracking. Great job, Timmy from the track team. Got your resting heart rate down to 60 beats per minute. Still the slowest kid on the team. But to at least give these watches credit where credit is due, they will be fairly accurate in terms of heart rate. The only thing that'll really throw them off is vibration sports. So something like mountain biking can throw them off, and you can kind of bypass that by wearing a chest strap for a heart monitor. So yes, you will have accurate collection of data for a lackluster training variable. Let's get into the good stuff. All the shit your fitness tracking watch says it can do, but it cannot. For starters, can we take a brief moment to realize that my list of things for $300 up to $1,000 watches that they can do well is 4 deep. Those 4 being playing music, functioning as a GPS, it does track miles well, most of them. Heart rate, again, tracks it pretty well. And it keeps the time, which I mean, it's a watch, so come on. 4 things, $300 to $1,000 watches. Makes sense. On the very top of my list of lies that fitness tracking will tell you, we can count your calories for you. Repeat after me. We do not have the technology to accurately track calories. Like, straight up, we just can't do it. And these companies have made everyone believe we can. And this isn't even a matter of, oh, you just don't have an expensive enough fitness tracker for it to accurately measure things. I don't care if you have the latest and greatest Apple Watch with gold plating, it's still less accurate than Helen Keller leading a squad of stormtroopers. If you're not quite believing me, understand that the actual lab version of how you'd measure someone's resting metabolism, so just what calories they're burning at rest, you have to capture all of the oxygen that that person consumes, as well as all of the CO2 that that person blows out to measure it. And even with it being a lab test, there's still a margin of error. Understand it's just something that's very difficult to measure and probably always will be. I'm not mad at these companies because they can't accurately track calories burned. I'm mad at these companies because they're pretending that they can. Now, these companies will always cover up their inherent lack of data performance by saying, oh, we have such and such formula to figure out the calories burned. Obviously, we can't measure it. And again, it's just impossible. You could have 2 individuals, same sex, same height, same weight, hell, even the same lean body mass, and they could have drastically different metabolisms. The individual variability of metabolism is always going to be so huge that making a tracker that actually tracks calories burned for somebody is going to be such a huge feat of accomplishment for us that that'll be some next level future shit. I'm not just making this stuff up to try and make these companies look bad. There's really no motivation for me to make these companies look bad. This is something we've just been researching a whole bunch, because if we can get this technology to work, that would be huge. But in terms of calorie tracking, you'll see good watches performing in around a 20% error range, with other watches up to a goddamn 90% error range. Like, they can't even get close. This probably wouldn't piss me off so much if they just stopped at the calorie tracking bullshit. But these are companies, which means they need a new product every year, which means they need to lie about a new feature every year. Like, bro, maybe make sure the feature that you said already works instead of lying about a new one. Like, calorie tracking would be beautiful if it worked. Look, I probably shouldn't be getting this heat about a watch. And some of you are probably saying, Matt, it doesn't really matter. It's their money. Let them spend it if they want. The watch isn't gonna hurt anyone, which I'd say it possibly could. The most prevalent problem that I think these fitness watches present, and why I get heated about these companies saying that they can do things that they can't, is that someone that doesn't know all too much about fitness is going to buy one of these to get into fitness, and they're gonna take everything it says as gospel. Which means if the watch says, oh, you didn't sleep so well last night, they're more keen to believe that they didn't sleep so well last night, and they will be noceboed into the fact that they'll feel tired for that day. And again, we have research on this. People that were told by a watch that they didn't sleep so well were more apt to believe that they didn't sleep well. Same thing for these watches having things like body battery and stress tracking. This will literally tell me how much energy I have left, and again, it's using algorithms off of heart rate, respiration rate, all of that to try and guess how much energy I have left. It can't do that, and it's lying to me and telling me it can. And if I don't know that much about fitness and it says I've got 10% battery left, I'll be like, well, I guess I'm tired for the day. And I know this is something you've had to take my word for up to this point. It's not like I'm throwing study after you guys, but I definitely encourage you guys to look into these things. Fitness watches get a whole bunch of funding for research, and they are very well researched, which is why we know that they're just not so good right now. These watches have the potential to cause so many negative nocebos for people, and I think that's my biggest gripe for them, is hurting people that don't know all that much about fitness. A good fitness product should be making your life more simple. It shouldn't be overcomplicating what is, honestly guys, a very simple endeavor. Fitness is simple, maybe not easy, but simple, and they definitely should not be adding any negatives into your life. I genuinely am rooting for these guys, and I want to see them get better, which means people have to keep buying them to get better. I kind of get that. But as it stands right now, I think these devices are a bit too overpriced and a bit too underpowered for me to genuinely recommend them to you guys. If you're into endurance things like running, triathlon training, biking, swimming, the whole 9 yards with that, then yeah, obviously you're probably gonna pick one up. And I just recommend going with the cheapest option that has GPS available, and if you like music. But the cheaper options of these watches have just as powerful options as the later ones down the line. They're just going to lie to you about how many features you have. So basically speaking, a $900 watch and a $300 to $200 watch, same thing basically in terms of what they can actually accurately do. But if you don't find yourself falling into that kind of endurance category, well,